China's marriage market has a harsh expiry date, leftover women facing dilemma. For women over 36 in China, finding a husband is an uphill battle. Yet shockingly, some still demand sky-high betrothal gifts, up to $125,000. Faced with sky-high prices, how are Chinese men fighting back? I am a 33-year-old leftover woman, and I've really reached the point where no one is interested in me. I went back to my hometown to see if any relatives would introduce me to a date, but no one was interested. No one has said they would introduce me to a date. No one is interested at all. It turns out that 33 years old is really different from 23 years old. What can I do? As China's marriage rates continue to plummet, more women are voicing frustration over the growing challenges of dating in their 30s. Why do you think so many men are unwilling to get married now? Let's break down the numbers. Even at the lower end, marriage comes at a steep price for many men in China. House, 500,000 yuan, in many cities, over 1 to 2 million yuan. Car, 100,000 yuan. Betrothal gift, 100,000 yuan. Gold jewelry items, 30,000 yuan. Wedding host, 3,000 yuan. Wedding photos, 7,000 yuan. Banquet, 50,000 yuan. Diamond ring, 10,000 yuan. Home decoration, 100,000 yuan. Name change fee, 10,000 yuan. Total, more than 910,000 yuan. For most families, this isn't just expensive, it's financially exhausting. And if the bride is perceived as demanding, inflexible, or overly controlling, many men are now choosing to stay single instead. Domineering and nitpicking. Such people make people tired. Yes, so men are not stupid. Many people spend a lot of money to marry a wife, bankrupt their families, and even become poor overnight. With rising costs and increasing emotional risks, marriage is becoming less appealing for both sides. I was born in 1991, now in my 30s, unmarried, childless. Does that make me a failure? At dinner with friends, 4 of the 5 of us are single women over 30. That should be normal today. My mom recently urged me to find someone, online, if not in real life, warning that time is running out. The older I get, the more judgment I face. I'm not against marriage, but the more pressure I feel, the harder it becomes. At this age, I've grown reluctant to open up to new people. Outside of work, I stay in, cook alone, and enjoy my freedom. But I still hope to meet someone who truly understands me. If marriage is just about age, I'd rather stay single. For many women, marriage is no longer a requirement, but a choice, and one they're increasingly hesitant to make without the right conditions. Blogger Qingqing, a matchmaker in Zhejiang, recently shared a case that illustrates the growing gap between expectations and reality. The girl, 29, from Jiaxing, comes from a decent family with a small supermarket and 3 rental homes. She'd been dating her boyfriend for 5 years, and both families supported their plan to marry during Chinese New Year. Her parents said the betrothal gift was symbolic, they'd give it back, and even prepared a dowry. But during the discussion, the boy suddenly proposed giving 10,000 plus 1 yuan, 1 in a million. Everyone fell silent. Her mother tried to smooth it over, saying it was fine. But the girl felt humiliated. At that moment, she changed her mind about marrying him. Small gestures meant to be romantic can sometimes backfire, especially when they clash with long-standing traditions and expectations. I am 36 years old and unmarried. I am still single. I have no car and no savings. No one has introduced me to a partner. I have finally reached an age where no one cares about me. In the wedding market, I, 36, was automatically classified as a clearance sale. At this age, most people around me have already established their own families, but I am still single. In the past, I always thought that I was still young and could slowly look for someone, and sometimes I even deliberately avoided blind date introductions. But now I think back, I have always been a slow-maturing person and missed many opportunities. Delayed decisions, once empowering, now weigh heavily on many older singles, as cultural pressure and fading options set in. Finally, when she was 35 years old, she found that the boys she liked basically chose girls under 30 years old, and some even didn't want to meet her. In the blink of an eye, she was 40 years old and still hadn't found a boyfriend. Later, someone introduced her to a 51-year-old bank executive. The man's annual income was about 500,000 yuan. The house and car were all purchased in full, and his parents also had pensions. Finally, she got married at the age of 43. Her story echoes a message heard more frequently now: flexibility may matter more than perfection. As expectations shift, some offer advice on what really counts when choosing a life partner. Don't get stuck chasing ideal material conditions. Look at the person's family, character, and values. A good partner isn't always the one with the flashiest assets, but the one with long-term potential. Because in China today, being single may no longer be a failure, but missing out on connection might be. China's harsh post-divorce reality for women over 40, from fairy to forgotten. She was called a fairy, until divorce turned her world upside down. Now she's broke, single, and raising a daughter in a rented room. In China, more women are choosing divorce. But what happens after the fairy tale ends? One woman said before marriage, few men noticed her, but once married, suddenly many flirted, promising lifelong love. She believed she'd be even more popular after divorce. She divorced, kept the kids, and found out those men just wanted to borrow someone else's car. Flirting without commitment, cost, or responsibility. Online, reactions got sharper. A woman demanded a man with 100 million yuan in assets and a 10 million yuan betrothal gift, despite bringing twin daughters into the relationship. Netizens laughed. Even the Buddha would shake his head. Nobody wants it retail, and you're asking wholesale prices. With 10 million, I'd find an 18-year-old. Cruel. Maybe. But it shows how brutal and unrealistic today's dating scene can feel, for women and men. A divorced woman reflects on leaving her husband of 16 years in hopes of finding someone better, only to face harsh realities of single parenthood, financial struggle, and unmet expectations. People used to call me a little fairy. I thought I was beautiful enough to find someone better if I divorced. Who still calls you that? You're divorced now? Yes, over a year ago. Who got custody? My ex. We have 2 kids. Why didn't you keep them? I thought my husband was boring, no romance, no red envelopes. I figured I could do better. How long were you married? 16 years. And that was the only reason? Yes. How old are the kids? Son's 15, daughter's 10. I'm 44, he's 46. Do you work? No, never worked. Health issues. Who made you think you'd find someone better? Everyone called me a fairy. I believed it. Still confident now? Always. What did you get in the divorce? 200,000 yen. My husband bought a house for our son in his name. He used to give me 10,000 yen a month. You didn't save? No. Where do you live now? In a small rental with my daughter. Why not let her stay with your ex if you can't support her? I couldn't give her up. Can you even provide for her? Sometimes her dad helps. You want your son back too? My ex found someone new after 3 months. He's moving on. Why can't you? I worry about the kids. Step-parents can mistreat them. Like how your daughter lives now, unstable, barely getting by. Sometimes, yes, with her dad's help. China's divorce rate hit 43.5% in 2022, with 2.87 million couples parting ways, one of the highest rates globally. Notably, 70 to 80% of divorces were initiated by women. What's driving the rise? Experts point to 3 main factors. Economic and urban pressure. Despite a per capita GDP jump from $251 in 1987 to $12,700 in 2022, high housing prices and work stress have strained families. Changing values, millennials and Gen Z, raised during the one-child policy and internet boom, prioritize personal happiness. Social media and individualism have reduced the stigma of divorce. Policy shifts. Simplified marriage laws in 2003 and the 2021 divorce cooling-off period have made divorce more accessible. Why women are leading the trend. Economic independence. More educated and employed, women are less financially tied to marriage. Unequal burdens. Many shoulder disproportionate housework and childcare, leading to dissatisfaction. Cultural shift. Social media celebrates female independence, especially in regions like the Northeast, where divorce culture is more accepted. Looking ahead, rising divorces reflect evolving gender roles and the pursuit of equality. As China navigates these shifts, the future of marriage may hinge on balancing self-fulfillment with shared family responsibilities. China's once-in-a-century flood destroys everything. Rongjiang, hit by catastrophic nightmare. I am now on the front lines of flood control in Rongjiang County, Guizhou Province. This once-in-a-century flood is raging. As of 12 noon today, the emergency flood response level has been urgently raised from level 2 to level 1. In recent days, Rongjiang County has been devastated by an unprecedented deluge. The flooding was so intense, it felt as though the sky had opened up. Entire districts were submerged. A multi-story shopping mall became a water curtain cave. Gas stations and homes were swept away. Even coffins buried underground were dislodged by the torrent. Oh my God, it's over! It's over! Look at the flood in our Futai community. There's just too much water. The front gate's overwhelmed, and the back entrance too. It's terrible. This water is unbearable. This natural disaster is unbearable. These cars are ruined. You can see mine there too, completely submerged. All the vehicles in our neighborhood are underwater. Motorcycles are gone. This is my refrigerator. Hey, run, run. It's too dangerous. Oh my God, I can't get out. The equipment in my store is worth hundreds of thousands. Everything's ruined. I worked all year for nothing. This happened right outside my house this morning. I thought the water hadn't reached us. And in the next second, bam, flooded. I woke up to a water park. The staff didn't sleep at all last night. It's been so tough. Everyone please stay safe. This was just downstairs. Not even half an hour passed, and the water rose this fast. Oh, so many things. Look, the bridge just collapsed. Oh my God, his house. The sound was huge. The bridge just gave out. This is the most severe flood recorded in Rongjiang since local water level monitoring began. The region's 3 rivers, Pingyang, Jiahao, and Duliu, all rose more than 10 meters on June 24th, with water levels surpassing guaranteed safety thresholds by over 5 meters. These are once in 30 years flood levels. The peak flow reached 11,000 cubic meters per second, about 75 times the usual rate. Authorities issued an emergency evacuation for most of the old city and several riverside neighborhoods in the new city. But many residents say the warning came too late. They had no time to prepare. Almost the entire city was submerged. Homes were swept away. Shopping centers became engulfed in water. The economic damage to Rongjiang is incalculable. That same morning, the Xiamen-Rongcheng Expressway bridge in Guizhou collapsed suddenly. Several vehicles plunged below, while a large truck dangled off the edge. The driver opened his door and cried for help, his life literally hanging in the balance. Officials later said the collapse was triggered by continuous heavy rain and landslides, which undermined the approach bridge. Online, the public was furious. Many criticized the bridge as a shoddy construction. Most of China's GDP is built on cut corners like this. It's rotten to the core. How many cars fell? How many people were lost? After the flood receded, I came to check on my store. I really wanted to cry. Everything's ruined. It's heartbreaking. What do I do now? It's just a total mess. My God, it's all a mess. This catastrophe isn't isolated. In recent days, severe rainstorms have battered much of southern China. In Guangxi province, sudden mountain torrents and mudslides struck without warning. In Guizhou, multiple landslides have left many dead or missing. As the waters recede, the scars remain, not just on the land, but on the lives upended overnight. In a country racing toward the future, nature is a force that still commands the final word. For Rongjiang, recovery has just begun.